Hey everyone, sorry that I am slightly late. I usually like to be early for these things, but I was having some technical difficulties trying to set up the stream for this, so yeah. So as always, if y'all could let me know how the audio is, that would be lovely, compared to the music, because I can't tell. But anyway, hey everyone, I hope you're all having a lovely Sunday evening, or whatever time it is for you. I'm having a pretty good day. It was just chilling. Honestly, weekends are just super chill for me, so kind of just been gearing up for this. So I'm just gonna go through all the units. I don't think it'll take that long, so we're just gonna straight up go through every single unit that was submitted. Unless it takes really long, then I guess we'll skip over some of them, but yeah, so this is gonna be the setup. So I'm straight up just scrolling through Discord. And I'm going to open up the pictures. And I'm sorry, it's not going to be centered, at least not the unit build, because I couldn't figure out how to get it centered on Discord, and I don't want to manually download all the images. So yeah, it's unfortunate though. Okay, Goldeb, I hope you have a good night. You said it was like almost 2 a.m. for you, so I hope you sleep well. All right, I'm going to assume that I think my Google Home just thought I said something to it. Okay. It's all good. So I guess we're just gonna get started out. Started off with this. So, yeah. So first off, we've got a Summer Caspar from Chris. And Chris says, I use him with this build just generally, but I switched his Blessing for Arena so I could use him there. Also, I don't really have a better option for his A skill, but bonus doubler is great. So this is what Chris has got. I mean, it's really nice, yeah. Summer Caspar is a perfect example of a really good 4-star focus seasonal. But if you do invest in his speed, he makes a really good repel tank. I would suggest though, obviously if you have the fodder for it, Distant Counter I think would be really good. Pledging Axe is really good. Some other great options are Deck Swabber. I think there's another one too. Huge Fan is pretty good. If you're using him in Arena, might I recommend Slaying Hammer, because there are a lot of armors. That's what I run on my damage reduction Ninja Hana in Arena. So yeah. Next up, we've got this iconic Zeke from Infantry Pulse, the YouTuber himself. He was going for a +10 Not on the midpoint banner, and instead he ended up with a +10 Zeke way before. So he says this is an AR offense Zeke build meant to be run with Brave Lucina support. Oh hey Aurora, don't worry about it. I hope you have a great time as long as you can stay. Sorry that you're busy or whatever it is. Anyway, so this is the Zeke. So obviously he's got the Distant Counter in his weapon, which is really, really good. He's also got Mirror Stance 3, also really good. Lull Attack Defense, Joint Drive Attack, Mystic Boost. Yeah, I mean, this is a really good unit, I think. I assume the point here is with Brave Lucina support, he retaliates back immediately with Ruptured Sky. Yeah, I think I don't really think there's much more you can do to improve this Infantry Pulse. So yeah, this is a great unit. I'd actually be really curious to know how well he actually performs in practice. Because I guess this is sort of like a budget Brave Hector build where he retaliates with Bonfire using Special Fighter and then heals it back with Mystic Boost. Yeah, I mean, yeah, as Kevin Lee says, I think this would be really good if Zeke had a slaying weapon. Obviously, then you could go for like Luna or something. Also, just in general, he's super weak to no follow-up. But I guess kind of the whole idea of one-shotting kind of sort of gets around that. Even if he doesn't get to double the enemy, as long as he one-shots with Ruptured Sky, that's obviously really good. And I assume that this is without any mythic buffs either, because his HP is only 45. Yeah, that's really good. Satachi says Monkey Zeke. That is a reference to Attack on Titan, to those of you who have watched Attack on Titan. So from Phoenix May is showing off their Branya that they made in Hall of Forms and have not used a soul on her yet. This is passed since then, so I'm assuming Phoenix May already would have decided whether to spend a soul on this Branya, and she's meant to be a generic range tank and air offense, like a Duel Leaf or Cavline counter. So she's running Spooky Sensor, obviously, just because it's a limited weapon. She's got Rally Up Attack, Rupture Sky, Bracing Stance. I think Bracing Stance is decent on her, but unfortunately doesn't really help boost up her speed, which isn't that high. Then there's obviously Null Sea Disrupt, Pulse Smoke. I feel like if you're not giving her a speed boosting A skill, I might go for Quick Riposte as a seal, or I would just go all in on boosting her speed fast enough that she doesn't need it. Hey Vapo, thanks for stopping by. Hey everyone. Thanks for coming by this little stream of mine. I think it'll be fun. Okay, so Low Fructose says, I'll be going with my Grima. She's a unit I used to regret getting to +10 because she was completely unviable now, but she's able to solo things like Abyssal Byleth with Dancers. If I could use her in AR offense more often, I would. Okay, so obviously this is a +10 female Grima. I think this is really decent. I mean, I think... So her PRF doesn't have slaying, right? Or does it have slaying? Someone in the chat let me know if Grima has slaying, because I actually don't remember. But if she doesn't, it would be really awesome if you could run her alongside New Year Valuria or Duo Hilda to help charge Noontime immediately. Then Mystic Boost as a B skill is decent, although I would probably go Dragon's Ire. Yeah, I would probably go Dragon's Ire if you have the fodder for it. Or Dragon Wall, but her res is not that great unless you directly invest into it. Hey Sarcel, so yeah, the rules for submitting unit reviews, so I opened it up on my Discord the other week. It was specifically units who have been released since the Not banner and including the Not banner, and then also units who have been refined or remixed or Hall of Forms or gotten a Resplendent in the meantime. So yeah, that's kind of the criteria for it. And I closed submissions, I think last weekend, but I will probably do another set of these next month if y'all enjoy this. So yeah, hopefully if you didn't get a chance this time, it would be cool if you could participate next time. Oh, hey Fedison. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, no, this is a really good Grima. Just like I said, I would probably switch the B skill. Maybe change the seal as well. Maybe give her Mystic Boost if you're swapping out the B skill. Not quite sure, but I think this has really good potential. Dark says, here's my SOV Paula, supported by Brave Lucina, used in AR offense Astra season. In a full line of support, she's able to kill almost everything except for Saros. She can kill +10 merged Brave Hectors? That's really impressive. Because, yeah, I guess that's really impressive. I guess with Glimmer, maybe? Yeah, but yeah. There's not much to say about this build. I think it's really good. I think it's unfortunately weak to Hardy Bearing, people either with Hardy Bearing in their weapon or Hardy Bearing Seal, or people who have a Fire Sweep effect, obviously, but yeah, otherwise this looks like it shreds through everything. Yeah, really good. What my only suggestion would be if you could give her a favorite icon instead of just leaving it blank so that you don't accidentally send her home. But yeah, no, really good unit. So Chair Yumi says, here's a Tatiana from the Builder. She's meant to be an AR offense Cavalin counter with her insane res that Cav mages shouldn't be able to dent. So this is the build. Yeah, really nice Tatiana. I think she's a unit who has a stat line that kind of allows her to do anything she wants. Yeah, she can, she can run an offensive build, she can run a tank build, kind of like this one. And I think this is a really good build. I don't know how good Times Pulse is for this specific application. If you have the fodder for it, especially since Times Pulse is pretty premium, I would say you might be better off giving her like a joint drive skill, a joint drive attack, speed, or res. Maybe like a smoke skill, attack smoke or something. Yeah. Pulse smoke maybe, although I don't know how useful pulse smoke would be against Cavalline, so probably not. But yeah, really nice Tatiana if you end up building her like that. So Lactose says, my abomination of a Grima build. He's meant to wall physical attackers pretty much. Mostly for light season AR offense, but you don't know if he'll work. Okay. So who's he? He's meant to wall physical attackers? Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is a very decent near save build. I will say that unfortunately, green is kind of a bad color to be as a near save tank, and I say this as someone who has now a +2 or +3, I don't remember, a couple merges on my near save Winter Fae, who I picked up from Hall of Forms, and I'm not sure how useful green is. But I mean, if you pump up his defense high enough, he can probably take 2 hits from Legendary Sigurd, but I would have to see the math on that first. I would suspect Legendary Sigurd might just kind of shred through this, but again, I haven't seen the math on it. And I assume this is without mythic buffs. So if you've got a Milla behind him, if you've got like another 2 or 3 mythics on board, I think he could be decent. His weapon has guard, good point. So it looks like he won't actually get hit by Sigurd's special twice, but still, that first special is really gonna hurt. Yeah, especially since Sigurd has a guaranteed follow-up. But yeah, near save is still a near save, as KS says. Oh yeah, also another thing that if you manage to do it, if you could pick up a merge for him, that would be really good, because then you'd be able to get rid of his IVs, the bad IVs, because minus defense sucks. Yeah. Alright. Taro says, here's a build you have for air defense. Not sure what to change, but I appreciate the advice to improve Ashe. Ooh, okay. So I assume this is, I think you said this is meant to be an ARD attacking unit? I mean, obviously Ashe, first of all, is just a really good unit, I think. Kevin Lee says, oh hey, it's Blue Duel Cav fodder. I feel bad for laughing at that. Anyway, so I think ARD attack speed is really good. For his B skill, I would probably recommend either Flow Refresh, which is super expensive fodder, obviously. But I would also recommend potentially a Lull. I don't think Guard is especially helpful on an ARD unit, to be honest. So I would say probably Lull or Flow Refresh if you can get it. Joint drive speed is alright, but again, like if he's meant to be going out on the front line, I might switch it to something like a smoke skill, maybe? But joint drive speed is fine, yeah. Fedison says F in the chat for all the Ashe fans who saw Promise Murder Ashe. Yeah, I did that on stream, didn't I? But yeah, oh, also, I probably wouldn't go with attack defense form. I might go for like Swift Sparrow. Yeah, maybe Swift Sparrow. Yeah. But yeah, overall really good. Oh, just one last thing as well. If you really, really like Ashe, I would recommend changing his IVs. I didn't realize his attack was this high, so maybe plus speed. I don't really know, yeah. But yeah, no, really good, really solid. Thanks for submitting the build. I can't pronounce this person's name. Ululvar Cape. Sorry if I butchered that. I really don't know how to pronounce that. But here's your planned build for Not to put her on the defense team. So it's basically just like vanilla Not, but with Odd Tempest instead. I think Odd Tempest is ridiculously good on Not on a turn 1 trap. So I would definitely say that's a good idea. Deflect Missile's interesting. I suppose that's meant to stop Linja from like stomping all over her, but I would like to see the math on whether or not she can survive 2 hits from Linja, because I suspect she might not be able to, especially if Linja gets off a Moonbow on her. So yeah. Oh hey Tegan, how have you been? I haven't seen you in a while since Twitter, but yeah, I hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping by the stream. But yeah, yeah, Odd Tempest. Scary. Scary on a frontline unit on these turn 1 forces. Bappo says, this is my male Grima. I usually pair him with my Ileana in AR offense, but also like using him in arena. You really want Slick Fighter. So this is a really good Grima, obviously. I think Soul is an interesting choice. I would say, I mean, I guess it's decent because he doesn't have Slaying. And he's running Vengeful Fighter. Yeah, Soul's okay, I guess. He's got Attack Defense Unity, Near Save, Sturdy Stance. Yeah, the fact that he's got guard in his weapon means you can go ahead and run attack defense unity over a tier 4 stance instead. And the Vengeful Fighter is nice, but yeah, Slick Fighter, what's the other one? Crafty Fighter? I don't remember. I think the other ones might be a little bit better on him. And obviously near save. Yeah, I'd be curious to know if you could let me know how well this does against Legendary Sigurd, right? Because that's obviously the #1 biggest threat as a near save tank for AR. Also, I'm going to switch the music because I'm getting tired of this one. What shall we play? Let's play the Thracia bass theme because I have it downloaded and I feel like it. Okay, cool. So let's move on to Polly. Polly says, I had to manually put this into Unit Builder, which wasn't fun. And also I don't have Legendary Byleth, but I thought this would be a pretty fun build for him. Swift Impact, pretty good. Wind Sweep, Times Pulse, Attack Speed Solo. Yeah, I mean, this is good. I would probably say this looks like to be neutral IVs. I would probably go plus attack. The impact might be redundant just because he's got no follow-up. Yeah, and I might go with sturdy impact if I were going for like any kind of impact. Wind Sweep is good for sure on him. So yeah, overall really solid build, but I don't know if the impact is strictly necessary because he's got no follow-up anyway. Tegan asks, hey, quick question, where do we send our builds to be reviewed? Well, Tegan, in my Discord server, we opened up a channel called #UnitReviews a couple weeks ago, and basically it was just like you could submit your units that were included on the list, which included people who were refined or released or remixed or received a Hall of Forms unit or Resplendent. That's kind of a mouthful, but basically anybody who got anything new, including weapon refines in the past month, you could submit a build for them. And we closed applications for that. But if you guys like this one, I'll do another one next month. So yeah, we'll make another announcement in my Discord server. There's actually a role that you can choose to be pinged for called community events. So that's also in one of the read-only channels in my Discord if you guys want to get notified for the next one. So yeah. Nickname says, I reckon this could be a fun build for something like Arena. Neutral because I don't think she needs any stat more than the others. This is a really, really unique Norn. I would say that if you want to use her in Arena, I'm not sure how useful this specific build would be. I would say DC tends to be really useful in Arena, DC and damage reduction, but I guess that's kind of a boring build. But yeah, I don't know how well this does in Arena without null follow-up. But yeah. Oh yeah, thanks Logan, that would be really lovely. Also Magic Mayro. You were expecting some meme builds. There is a meme build coming up. There's the Green Duel Infantry 4 Legendary Byleth coming up. Don't worry about it. I think it'll be funny to see. Clark says, Norn actually needs a super boon to score 180. Good point, Clark. I hadn't realized she needed the super boon. So yeah, to this person, to Nickname, you gotta go with, I think, plus speed, or I don't remember what else she has. Some kind of super boon, or else she won't score 180 BST in Arena. Yeah. Chemcat says, here's my theoretical Carla build for an Astra Gale Force team. Designed to counter slower defenses with Duma on them, or slow teams in general with Winter Bernie support. 3 uses of Ardent Sacrifice brings her below half health for Wings of Mercy shenanigans. So basically she's a Gale Force unit? I guess that might work. I would say, okay, yeah, so they're saying they wouldn't use attack speed solo. They would use, Blade Session instead. Yeah, Blade Session would definitely be better. Yeah, I mean, this is a really good unit. I'm not super well versed in Gale Force, so I don't know exactly how useful this would be. I would also say that if you do want to use her for Gale Force, it might be cool to give her like Odd Tempest or yeah, maybe Odd Tempest. Yeah. That's probably my only advice here. And obviously switching to Blade Session Seal. Could definitely be useful for fighting Fallen Edelgard. Although I'm not convinced that she can kill Fallen Edelgard in 2 hits even like this. Yeah. But really fast, pretty good attack. And yeah, great unit overall, I think. Let's skip over all of these. Okay, so It's a Mango says, here's their Brenya build. So yeah. Fimble Vetter, Rally Attack Speed Plus, Glacies, Fury 4, Lull Attack Res, Times Pulse. So at a first glance, I would say Fury is probably not the best A skill you could go for. I think maybe you could give her like a tier 4 stance. I think those are really, really good on her. Maybe even a solo skill, although the tier 4 stances are better in my opinion. Maybe a unity skill if you've got that. Lull Attack Res is definitely super useful. Times Pulse, if you're going Times Pulse, I wouldn't go Glacies. I would probably go Noontime in that case as her special. Or if you want to hit back, retaliate immediately with a special, I'd probably go for Moonbow or Glimmer. And Fortress Defense Res 2 as the seal probably also isn't the best. I would also go for a stance there, or maybe a solo skill. Honestly, like, it depends on which direction you want to take her in, but yeah, I really wouldn't want to take away from her attack. Yeah. You could also go for Close Foil or Close Counter, although I have noticed that Omni tanks like that just tend to not do so well in... Oh, oops, sorry for recommending Unity. Please don't use Unity. I forgot that she negates penalties. So yeah, don't use Unity. Sorry about that. Thanks for catching that, Blood King hero. But yeah. Chemcat says, here's my in-progress female Grima, who I now consider to be the best Dragon Wall in the entire game. Ooh, okay, nice. So this is basically a Dragon Wall build for Robin. I think that this would be really, really decent with mythic buffs. If you run her in Light Season along with Dagger and Air, that's instantly 39 res that she's getting on top of whatever else you stack from her weapon, from her seal and whatnot. So I think it's actually really good. I would say maybe she's a tiny bit slow, and also I probably wouldn't use Ether as a special. Yeah. I might use, like, either a damaging special, like a lower cooldown damaging special, or a lower cooldown healing special, I would say. Magic Mirror says, Mirror Strike Vantage Brenya from the previous one. Yes, we want to see some Mirror Strike Vantage defense tactic builds in here, y'all. For those of you who saw that on Twitter the other day. PSIO asks, are you covering all the units submitted, or did you filter some of them out? I'm actually going to be covering all of them. I think. I don't think it'll take that long, to be honest, so I'm just kind of like informally talking about all of them and just giving my thoughts on them. So yeah, so Haxi, sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, submitted his Winter Hilda. So yeah, it looks like they're using Hilda to help Enna to tank. I think that's super helpful, obviously. I think she's basically like Brave Lucina, but possibly better. Well, obviously better for a dragon because Brave Lucina doesn't work for dragons. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty standard build. I would say I would probably switch her seal to Distant Guard. Or Close Guard, but probably Distant Guard is preferred. And yeah, that's really all there is to it. I also might switch Nudge to Physic. I think Physic is really, really helpful on Flane in Ether Raid, so I think it would be very similar for Hilda. But yeah. This is Logan's plus 10 Hilda. Now Logan spent a lot of time and energy for this unit, and this is actually not a unit builder unit. This is actually in Logan's barracks. So yeah, Logan is actually using Hilda on ARD, and I have seen firsthand in his replays how scary this unit is. She just goes off and just murders like everybody. Obviously with those offenses, she's essentially a colorless mage with no counterattack, which is really, really scary. Logan also gave her Return Plus, although I don't think it's actually being used much on his defense team. He also gave her Odd Recovery, which is obviously really good because it's way better than Even Recovery on a turn 1 trap. Also Blade Session Seal helps a lot, but yeah. I have no suggestions for how to make this better, Logan. I think this is just a really good unit, and I think you know that. But yeah, thank you for submitting it. So Sanchino submitted a Silas, but Silas wasn't on the list, so I mean, let's just take a quick look at it. I won't talk about it, but I just wanted to quickly show y'all what Sanchino's Silas looks like, because it's a really good build. But yeah. Let's take a look at this Celica. Oh, so yeah, Celica got a Resplendent, I think, so she's actually on the list. So PSIO says, this is my really weird Celica build for AR offense and PvE. She's specifically built as a Fallen Edelgard counter and does a phenomenal job at it. She lives a hit, usually, and with Summer Hilda support gets off Ruptured Sky on Retaliation. Oh, okay. So, okay, I'm just gonna switch the music real quick and then tell y'all what I think about this. But yeah, so, very, very interesting build. Unity Blooms is so interesting. And I'd be really curious to know if this actually works in practice. Because I haven't... I wonder if it works. I guess with the null follow-up, she actually gets to double. I would say maybe you actually don't want Summer Hilda support for this. Maybe you want her to get off Ruptured Sky on the second hit instead, because the first hit that she gets off on Fallen Edelgard will be 40% damage reduced. Oh wait, but never mind. Fallen Edelgard has like Special Fighter, so you have to have the special essentially pre-charged with the help of Summer Hilda. So yeah, yeah, I think this is really, really cool build, and I would, again, I'd be really curious to know if it does if it works in practice in E3s. But yeah. Oh hey, FJ Vecca, I'm doing good. How are you? Let's take a look at this Luthier. Oh, must hurt to be a Luthier fan now that what's her name? I don't the 4-star focus on this upcoming banner. I'm sorry, I haven't played Fates. I don't really know the units, but the unit who's getting a preferred weapon and who is also a green infantry tome, yeah, must hurt to be a Luthier fan right now. But yeah, so B says, this is my Luthier I currently use. I kind of use him as a nuke in AR. I'm also open to feedback. So Grogblade I think is a really good choice for AR offense. Maybe even for AR defense if you manage to set up some kind of odd recovery trap to guarantee that she gets buffs. Sorry, that he gets buffs, my bad. And then if you can set him up to have Ruptured Sky ready, maybe if you give him Times Pulse and Quicken Pulse, or if you give Infantry Pulse to a couple other people so he hits immediately with Ruptured Sky, I think that would be really good. Null Follow-Up is also pretty good. Another option would be Lull, possibly better, especially if you've already got Ruptured Sky ready for him to hit with. I might also go with an Impact skill if you're switching to Lull, because I think Impact plus Lull is a pretty good combo. Yeah, Pulse Smoke, not quite so good on ARD. On AR offense, it's pretty good on a tank, but not so sure if it's good on a nuke either. But yeah, still a really good Luthier build. Yeah. Okay, let's go take a look at this Chrom from Dahlia, because Chrom is actually, sorry if you heard that, that was my headphones. Chrom just got a Resplendent, so yeah. Chrom is a light season carry, you want to put it to good use, unsure what else you can make him do, but you're really excited to hear my thoughts on it. So I completely approve of this build. I have no suggestions. This is essentially exactly what I wanted to go for with Chrom, until I realized that it would cost me 200k feathers, so I decided not to do it. I think this is a great build. The only thing that I might swap is I might swap out Attack Speed Solo for Speed Res Solo. I also might swap out his C skill, maybe to a Smoke skill, although I guess if you're passing on Spurn plus Joint Drive Attack, just keep Joint Drive Attack, it's honestly fine. Yeah. It's a great Crom build. I completely approve. So Sanchino submitted a Summer Kata build. Sorry that I pronounced Kata weirdly. That's just how I got used to it, so that's how I say it. She's meant to be a player phase, check to Brave Hector, Fallen Edelgard, and Brave Edelgard. Fatal Smoke prevents healing, and solo skills provide a more consistent way to get extra stats on AR offense. Ooh, okay, so Sanchino has gone for attack speed solo 4 in the Ace Law, and attack defense solo 3 as the seal. I think this is really good. Fatal Smoke is obviously amazing. I think I would have to see some calcs on whether or not this unit can actually survive a hit from Vector or from Fallen Edelgard, because I suspect that if they retaliate back with Mod Fire, they might die, like this unit might die, so that's definitely something to keep in consideration. Not really sure what you can do to fix that though. I guess you could go Wind Sweep, but I don't think that would be super useful considering she doesn't have no follow-up without Flow Refresh. So I don't know, yeah. Solar submitted a Leone build, which they plan on building. The only fodder you don't currently have is Fatal Smoke, primarily used on cav lines or rally traps. The main feedback I'm looking for is a budget C slot while I wait for Fatal Smoke, and an idea of the mythics that will best boost her stats. Okay, so really nice Leone, obviously. I think Fatal Smoke and Fire Sweep is an amazing combination. This is very similar to the build I run on my Claude on my cav line. Obviously my Claude doesn't have Fatal Smoke, unfortunately, but I think it's a really good build. In the meantime, a good budget skill would probably be like Attack Smoke, maybe Defense Smoke. Panic Smoke is good, but it's not exactly budget. If you've got other cavs on the team, obviously Hone Cavalry would be a really good option. Yeah. Oh hey, BA Radiant Dawn. Yes, it is a promise stream. I don't do it very often, but yeah. In terms of what mythics to use alongside her, what I usually do is, since it looks like you've got all of the Anima mythics, I would say keep Saros in the rotation, obviously, for the 7th unit, and then as the 2nd mythic, I would stick in whichever one is the bonus mythic. So if it's Duma week, stick in Duma. If it's Thrasir week, stick in Thrasir, and so on. That's what I do. But yeah. Deirdros says, a Summer Freyr that tanks just about everything that isn't effective damage. Built to tank just about anything in AR offense that doesn't cav or beast effectiveness or wind sweep plus no follow-up shenanigans. Yeah, this is a great Freyr. I think he's got really good defensive stats. He's essentially a red beast version of Zeke and, what's the other one? Duel. Yeah, I think he's really good. Not much more to say about this, to be honest. I mean, for the role that you're using him in, I think he's really amazing. And again, like you said, he does kind of fall flat against effective damage or wind sweep plus no follow-up, but there's really not much you can do to fix that, so yeah. Oh, hey, Phoenix Lord. Thanks for tuning in and joining the Discord. Yes, I created a Discord about 1 or 2 months ago? I don't know. It's been a lot of fun. The Roy guy says, here's my good girl Tatiana. This is a really, really nice Tatiana build. I think classic combo of Fury Desperation along with Spooky Sensor, I think it's really, really decent actually. Not sure where you would use this, perhaps on AR offense, but or PvE content for sure. This would be useful alongside like some what's the word? Alongside some Wings of Mercy dancers. I think she's really solid. Let's see. Sword Heart, but power creep. Also, T is for thighs. This is from It's Time to Stop. And they also say she's Altina but power creep. Altina was Sword Heart but power creep. Okay, first of all, Sword Heart is better than Altina, and I will stand my ground on that. Now moving on to Paula. She's got Brazen Attack Defense, Vantage, Attack Res Rain. I mean, this is pretty good, I think. If you're gonna go with Brazen in the A skill, I would probably double up on it in the seal, and also give her Brazen there, or maybe like a distinct counter build or something. Yeah, I mean, she's a really good unit. Scion has a summer Norn build for Arena for fire season specifically. Considering between null follow-up and spurn, and in wind season potentially swapping out her A skill. So I think Candy Cane is a really good option. I might go for Slaying Hammer? No, not Slaying Hammer. Heavy Spear, I think that's the one that's effective against armors. Yeah. I basically run this build on my Ninja Hana, or at least I used to. I found that when it was Fallen Edelgard bonus week, I had to switch to Null Follow-Up as her B skill, or else she couldn't kill Fallen Edelgard. But I think as a general purpose build, this is very good. I might go for Speed Res Solo Seal instead. Or actually, I don't even know if she needs the extra speed. Maybe? I think a decent option might actually be Attack Defense Solo. But yeah. Marsh says, oh, you take back your build from earlier. I'm not sure if you deleted your build, but I'll take a look at your gun throw anyway. Wow, that's really nice. I assume this is meant to be used as like an ARD unit. Yeah. I think this is a really solid ARD unit. I think attack speed catch is a great option. I think if you don't have attack speed catch, I think push 4 or swift sparrow or something is also a really good option. Panic Smoke is also really, really good, and Life and Death, yeah. Just going for those one-shots, I respect that. I don't know if she can beat Brave Hector, because I don't actually think she can, because I think Brave Hector neutralizes his penalties, so she doesn't get extra damage from Blizzard, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, really nice gun throw, and I am jealous of this. I wish I could use this. Archangel EA says, using his speed super boon. Alright, so for those of y'all who are waiting for the Speedy Zeke clickbait on the thumbnail, it is not clickbait. This is actually a build that someone submitted. So, when I initially saw this, I'll be honest, I messaged my mods and I was like, guys, is this even good? Like, is this even, like, just better than regular Zeke, or is it just straight up worse? And, one of my mods was actually like, you know what, let's do the map. And he's sorta good. It's a long story. Basically, he's kinda good because he beats a +10 maxed out Merida as long as attack speed menace is active. But that's not really saying much considering he's a blue and she's a red, and he still barely beats her through the damage reduction along with his fast speed. But like, I saw that 26 base speed and I was like, how do you salvage that? And he actually does stack fairly high levels of speed. I think he's decent, but I don't know if it'd be worth giving him all this fodder to just do what he can do with his base kit. Arguably better in some situations, but arguably worse in others. So yeah, really it's up to you whether you want to build this. I would say if you have the fodder for it, go ahead if you really like Zeke, but otherwise probably just stick with his base kit. But it's definitely really interesting and entertaining for the sake of this stream, so thank you for allowing me to use this as clickbait for my stream. Okay, let's switch the music again. Let's go to some Three Houses music. Let's put on Chasing Daybreak, I love that one. So yeah, Speedy Zeke. Giving Speed Lucas a run for his money. Speed Lucas, I tried doing Speed Lucas with null follow-up and speed stacking and everything, and it just didn't, it stopped working in Ether rates about like 6 or 7 months ago. It's just not good anymore. Speed creep is real. Joey says it's not clickbait if it appears in the video. Well, technically it's still clickbait in the sense that it baited people to click, but yeah, it's not fake news or whatever. We've submitted Summer Caspar. He's mainly for Arena. I do have more copies, but I'm really low on feathers at the moment, and you have enough copies for +5. I mean, really nice build, for sure. If you're using him for Arena, this is the same advice I've given other people, I might consider swapping out the weapon for a heavy spear to be effective against armors, because along with null follow-up and effective against armors, he should pretty easily be able to deal with people like Fallen Edelgard, and the regular Edelgard too, to be honest. Rouse speed defense is also probably something that you could, you know, swap out. Perhaps like, Oh, I think he actually needs a tier 4 C skill to score maximum in arena, so I would probably go for a joint drive skill. A threaten skill is decent, but I don't know. I think route speed defense is probably something that you could swap out for sure. But yeah. Oh, is he not a lance? Oops. Yes, I mean slaying hammer. My bad. I thought he was a lance for a sec. But yeah, slaying hammer. That's what I would recommend. Close call is also a decent option on him. I think if you want to run him in ether raids, I would probably go for distant counter and either close call or null follow up. And then as a seal, probably like speed res solo or something. But yeah, I can't wait to see him when he gets to +5. You should totally share him in the Discord. Hunter submitted a +10 cast bar. I know Hunter from Twitter. I'm pretty sure that this is actually Hunter's unit. Definitely a great unit for arena. He scores 180. He's got the DC null follow-up. Yeah, I don't really have any suggestions other for this. Again, maybe slaying hammer. I keep saying this. Okay, for the future, just assume that any of these +10 infantry units who you see like Norn, Hana, Caspar, whatever, just assume that I recommend a slaying armor effective weapon on them. But yeah. Noel says, this is my fun Gale Force Summer Kata who's designed for fighting turn 1 force maps. Dance traps, knot lines, and legendary Sigurd. 3 mythics and Valentine's Lif. Lif initiates on a unit and chips her down to 30 HP, which puts her in desperation range. She then attacks and push puts her down to 25 HP, which is Wings of Mercy range for my dancers and Gale Force to follow up. Oh. Okay, this is actually pretty decent, I think. As a Gale Force unit for turn 1 forces. I think that this would work really well against teams that don't have near save or far save on board. Also in general teams where you can actually like throw Lif in and snipe someone, because a lot of teams have got traps set up really well in the front, so you can't always do that. But in theory, I think this is a really, really good idea. Yeah, awesome. I'd love to see this in action. Bad Hacker is submitting the Forma Fae who they ended up going with. Oh, this is really, really interesting. So this is Speedy Fae. Attack speed ideal, Dragon's Ire, I mean, it's something. Lightning Breath as well, yeah. Definitely really good in PvE. Probably not quite so good in ether raids, but yeah. Uncanny Blow submits a brand new build for AR offense. And they want to update her C skill with something a little more premium at some point. Okay, this is a really nice brand new build. I think the solos are really, really good on her. I would probably switch her C skill to Pulse Smoke if you're using her on AR offense. I think it's really quite good. But yeah, that's probably the only change I would make to this. I think this is really good. Squiggy. Okay, time for the second clickbait of the evening. So Squiggy Azalea submits a super epic legendary Byleth build that he's made. That she's made. That's designed for arena. It synergizes really well with a team of 3 slow armors. So this is the Byleth build. Once again, the Green Duel Infantry 4 Byleth on the cover, on the thumbnail for this was not clickbait. He's actually here. He's real. He exists. I'm pretty sure this is from Unit Builder though, so yeah. Obviously this is the best build you could run on Byleth. Green Duel Infantry gets him to score 180, so you can use him in arena. Renewal is just super helpful as a general skill. Threat attack res is also super useful on a unit like him who's super tanky. And yeah, I think he works really well with slow armors because his no follow-up requires a speed check, so I think with 3 slow armors it would just be perfect. By the way, I was totally being sarcastic about everything I just said. Obviously this is a meme build, so thank you for the laugh, Squeaky Azalea. Yeah. Obviously, Byleth already scores 185 without needing Green Duel Infantry. Renewal sucks. Threat and attack res sucks on him, and you really don't want to use him on a team with 3 slow armors because his null follow-up is conditional. So yeah. But thanks for the laugh. So let's take a look at a real legendary Byleth now, from Hagen. His job is to do the usual Byleth things while making legendary Dimitri's ass fatter in a water season. By ass, I mean his enemy phase. He has pushed because I hate ideal skills. Can't wait for Infantry Flash Seal. So yeah, this is a really good build. I mean, Wind Sweep means that people like Fallen Edelgard, every Edelgard, and Brave Hector can't counterattack, so he's obviously really good. Infantry Rush, I guess, is to help Dimitri. If you wanted to boost up his own combat potential, I'd probably go for like attack speed solo or blade session. But yeah, great Byleth. Logan says, promise, haha, this meme build is so funny. Squeaky, who legit thought they had a good build. Logan, I know Squeaky on Twitter. This is not serious. Even if I didn't know them, I'm pretty sure you can kind of tell it's not serious. But yeah. Indigo submitted a Speedy Crom, who you use in a turn 1 rally trap for both seasons of AR defense. Oh, okay. So Odd Tempest is really, really good, obviously, on turn 1 forces. If you've got Odd Recovery in there, I think Rally Trap is really good. So I would probably swap out his A skill for maybe an impact skill. If you want to go speed res, you can do Swift Impact, although obviously that's expensive. Might go for Mirror Impact. Spurn, I might swap that out for Lunge as well. That could also be really useful, especially if you've got Wings of Mercy on someone on the team. He stays alive and lunges someone, and then Wings of Mercy happens, so I think that could be really good. Don't sack off your only copy of Pledgy and Dorothea for this, it's not worth it. But yeah, really solid. I would definitely swap out the Lunge, but aside from that, I think it's really good. If you've got an impact to give him as well, I think that'd be good. Sucrose submitted a Summer Freya. This is their first ever major build. They're sorry if it's nothing noteworthy. Please don't say that. I think everyone's builds are really unique. I honestly think everyone should just be proud of what they're doing, so yeah. So they're running Glimmer, Attack Speed Solo, Wind Sweep, Fatal Smoke, and Mystic Boost. She's got half of null follow-up in her weapon, right? So Wind Sweep is actually really good on her. Attack Speed Solo is obviously really good. She comes with that. Fatal Smoke is really good. I might swap out Mystic Boost, especially if you're running Wind Sweep. I'd probably swap it out for Attack Speed Solo as well. Yeah, but this is a great build, and I think if you hadn't mentioned that you were a new player, I wouldn't have even been able to tell. I think this is really, really useful in the current meta. So yeah, great job. Herberade submitted a Bronya build for AR offense. I mean, this is a great Bronya build. The only change I would do is probably swap out her special, maybe Soul or Noontime, or Glimmer, or I don't know. Yeah, that's an option. And if you do want to invest more in her, I would probably give her Pulse Smoke. But yeah, if you don't use her much, I mean, probably not worth it. Bronya's good, but she's not as good as she used to be. I can't tell if this person's name starts with an L or an I, so I'm not going to pronounce your name. I'm sorry about that. They have a support knot because too many AR tanks depend on cooldown reduction. So this is a Ruse knot. I think in general, Ruse is really, really good on ARD, and I'm really glad that not a lot of people run it. So I think this is really solid, especially if you've got Odd Recovery there, so she can actually get off her rally in turn 1. Yeah, great build overall. It's really nice to see something unique. Nike Mania says, here's my SOV Paula that I use on AR defense, but also offense at times. Ooh, this is hard to face. With the sturdy impact, obviously you can't double her back unless you've got quick riposte, which I guess a lot of people do and she's kind of slow, but there's not much you can do about that. The Vantage is nice too because sometimes you can catch people off guard with that. Heavy Blade is also really solid. That means she might get off Moonbow on the second hit if her attack is high enough. Yeah, I think this is really good. I think if you run this alongside Duma and Saros, I think you could do some real damage. But yeah. Hey Cross-X Fighter, I'm doing good, how are you? Bobton showed off their Ashe. They mainly use him in AR offense, sometimes with Slaying Lance instead of his preferred weapon. Really wish his Lance had special cooldown. Very true, Bobton. I think he'd be a lot better as a Gale Forcer if he had Slaying, and unfortunately he doesn't. Yeah, I mean, for what you can do, I think this is really good. I think you might also want to consider its curtains instead of Slaying, if you ever do decide to go that route. Its curtains actually is really good. Or another way to do it would be to pair him with, what's her name? Valuria, if you have her. I think that could help for sure. But yeah, really good unit, and I'd be curious to know how this does against some of the common threats like Brave Hector. I assume probably not that well, but that also doesn't mean he's a bad unit. Yeah. Sorry to those of y'all who didn't register quickly enough for the Discord thing. Don't worry, I will probably be doing this again next month if y'all enjoy this. And it seems like you guys are enjoying this, so yeah. Purple Egg says, I love to bake in real life, so when I heard her voice line about making bread, I had to build her. Mostly I just use her in PvE, but she was unexpectedly good as a bonus unit too. So I think this is another one of the units who were on the cover, on the thumbnail of the stream. So yeah, shout outs to Purple Egg for their Tatiana. Yeah, she's really good. Not much more to say about it. I think she could be really solid in PvE. She could be decent as an AR defense unit, actually. If you stick around as some kind of Infantry Pulse team that's a little more threatening than your typical Infantry Pulse team. But yeah. Cross-X Fighter, sorry, but my friends list is full, and it has been full for a really long time, and people keep asking to add me, but I don't want to be rude to the people who I currently have added and unadd them, so yeah. Sorry about that. Lord Luck shows off his Winter Fae that he picked up in Hall of Form. So yeah, this is, I guess, for ARD. Oh, that's actually really interesting, sticking her as an ARD far save unit to stop people from sniping your team. I think this is a really good build. I think it's going to be really, really hard to kill this. If I had to say something, I would probably give her Pale Breath instead. I don't know if she really needs to counterattack, especially since you don't have Quick Riposte or anything on her. She's not going to be doubling anyone anyway, so I would probably just double down on the extra stats that you can get from a weapon, or even Glittering Breath, but Pale Breath is probably better, just to make sure that it's even harder to kill her. But yeah, overall really, really solid. And this is similar to what I went with, but I went with a near save instead. But I do have Dragon Wall in mine as well. So let's move on to the next one. We're getting near the end, which is good because my throat hurts. I've been speaking for a long time, and I'm sure you guys are tired of listening to me speak. So, yeah. This is from Feek. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. This is a light season Tatiana, supposed to be on the front lines alongside a green armor with near save in the back, boosted by Dagger, Peony, and Milla, and then a support unit like Duo Hilda. Yeah, I think first of all, you mentioned Pack Blooms. I think Pack Blooms would be really good on her if you could get it. But yeah, this is really solid. If you want to use her as a Cavline counter unit, I would suggest looking at the Cav Effective Tome. I'm actually currently looking into investing into the Winter Nino that we're getting in Hall of Forms, so I would say I'm probably going to try running a Cav Effective weapon on her. I think Cav Effective is really, really, really underrated as a skill, because then you just one-shot, like, Duo Leaf, you one-shot all the Cav healers, especially since you've got Nullsea Disrupt. I definitely think that's something to consider. But yeah, this is actually really, really scary. Also, thank you guys for the encouragement in the comments. Yeah. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. All right, Wiccan, we're about to take a look at your Mercedes. This is your dream Mercedes build. The idea is to use her on ARD with odd recovery so she gets full buffs and deals massive damage that can't be healed. So obviously I am a big proponent of Blade Tome on ARD. You guys see I use my Olin with Blade Tome. I think this is a really good build on her. Attack speed push plus fatal smoke. Yeah, I guess this is kind of like my speed heart. I can't really hate on that because this is essentially what I'm doing with speed heart. Yeah, I think it's great. I think if you could get her ARD attack speed, although like you said, you don't actually have the plus 10 on her yet, I think. But yeah, I think this is actually really decent. So yeah, I think it's great. Not much more I would change aside from, like you said, putting her alongside odd recovery and buffs. Amy Los is showing off their Robin. I've been itching for a near save unit for my Zane to suck stats from. Okay, that's super smart. And you were thinking of this. Okay. So let's take a look at that. Fortress Defense, Res, Dragon's Ire, Near Save, and Fortress Res. Okay, first of all, I think Dragon's Ire is a great choice. Another great choice would be Dragon Wall. Not sure which one's better. I think they're kind of interchangeable. Sarcel says I should look in my friends list to see your Claude after this. I don't have my phone hooked up to the streaming software, but maybe I could pull it up real quick after. So maybe y'all have to bear with me a couple minutes while I figure out the tech for that. It shouldn't take too long, but yeah. Getting back to the unit, I think Fortress Defense Res is also decent, but I might go for Unity instead. Fortress Defense Res is pretty good though, to be honest. He doesn't really need a tier 4 stance. Because he's already got guard in his weapon. I think Near Save is also really good on him. And as a seal, if he's specifically going to be a Near Save unit, I would say maybe go for one of the stance skills. I think Speed Res form is decent. Or actually you could even go for something like Defense Res Bond. Or one of the Bond skills, because as a Near Save unit, he's pretty much always going to be next to someone. But yeah, great build. I think just a couple of things that you could change, but yeah, still really good. The Blue Ghost showed off a Summer Leone build. An idea, oops, sorry about that. An idea I got from a fellow member of the server that I'll be able to make come true after getting 300 Ephemera 7 codes. Might be on certain experimental ARD teams. Fishy Bow. What does Fishy Bow do? I don't know if y'all know what Fishy Bow does, because I don't. Desperation? Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I think it's decent. I think the one thing I'll say is I think it's going to be a little tricky to get Desperation to activate. But you already mentioned that in your comments, so it's kind of just a general limitation, unfortunately. But yeah, great unit. I think she's a really solid unit to build if you don't already have a plus 10 bow cav. All right, so we got two last ones. I will switch to God Shattering Star for these ones. So here is a plus 10 Ash from Chihiro. A soft boy, a wholesome boy, a very handsome and talented boy, a hoodie-wearing boy, a catching fish kind of boy. Isn't he just the greatest? And they're resubmitting their build, decided to switch some skills. By the way, in the meantime, y'all, if y'all want to head into hashtag Faye builds right now in the Discord, I will be doing a couple more extra builds, even if they weren't on the list. So yeah, just drop a screenshot of your unit in there with like a sentence or two of explanation, and I will probably get to it. So yeah, but yeah, here's the Ash. Divine Sea Spear, Reposition, Moonbow, Attack Speed Cached. Flow Refresh is obviously amazing. Attack Speed Menace, Blade Session, really good. I don't have any advice for this. I think it's just really, really good. But yeah, congrats on getting this. And alright, the last one from local anti-Reinhardt gay. I take offense to that, /J. The Reinhardt part, anyway. So yeah, Arena Core unit. Imagine she has Laws of Decay 2. The unit builder doesn't have it. She reaches a good amount of attack and speed, allowing her to almost always win her A skill condition. With all of her skills active, I feel like she really holds her own. Yeah, I think this is decent. This is probably, as far as Lynn can go, it's probably as good as she can. Yeah. PSIO says, promise, can people who already submitted units send a unit into FEH builds and get it reviewed? You know what? Go ahead, yeah. Go ahead and do it. But yeah, as far as Lynn can get, this is really good. Unfortunately, she's just not that good as a unit, but yeah, thanks for submitting the build. So let's go take a look at FEH builds. Let's see. I can't tell where people started submitting builds. Oh, let's say at around 7 p.m. because that's when stuff happened. All right, so Super Lissa Enjoyer is showing off this special fighter Lissa. Obviously really, really good. I think the near save on her is really good. Attack defense unity is great. I didn't realize her defense on res get that high. I will say a couple things. I don't know if special fighter is the best one for her, unless you're giving her the quick riposte seal, because she's not that fast. She can't double. By the way, Magic Mayro, it doesn't have to be one of, I said like for this specifically, you can send in a newer unit as well. It can be, sorry, an older unit, any unit you want. And I'll do a couple of them, see how many of them I can get done. Tegan is showing off his Speed Lucas. Oh my. I don't even know how to react. This is actually decent. Yeah, really, really good. I always love seeing units who aren't meant to be fast being fast. Obviously, you guys can tell I'm an aficionado of people like Speed Reinhardt, so I do appreciate this. And I like Lucas a lot, so I think that's cool. Okay, here is an Azura build. It's Curtains Plus, obviously great with Gale Force and Flashing Blade 4. Infantry Pulse, Quicken Pulse. Helps you in ether raids. So is this meant to be like for AR offense or defense? I can't really tell. But either way, really good unit. Earwax submitted their Brave Lucina. Obviously a really good build. I think the Ruse is amazing on Brave Lucina as a support unit. And yeah, just she's a support unit, so there's not much more to say about it. Probably one of the best support units in the game. Doormat says, might be late to put this in the unit review, but I'm showing the queen. Oh, this is actually disgusting. This is terrifying. Such a good build. Yeah, this is amazing on an ARD 7th unit trap team. But yeah. BA Radiant Dawn says, my monster of a unit built for player-controlled mayhem and Pawns of Loki. Wow, this is really, really good. Yeah, I personally really want to save skill on my Duo-Adun, so I think that this is really nice to see. So here's what I do. I run Special Fighter on my Adun and Quick Riposte. I think Vengeful Fighter is okay, but it's probably not the best one. Maybe actually, if you want to go with like one of the Vengeful Fighter series skills, maybe go for the one either that has guard in it or that neutralizes. Oh wait, no, don't go for the one that neutralizes her penalties because she already does that in her weapon. So yeah, and maybe switch her special. I like to go Special Fighter Glimmer on her so that she retaliates back with Glimmer immediately. It's really good. So that's also something to consider for sure. But yeah, really, really good build. Kirby Kai is showing off. Okay, so I think the level 1 dancer, actually, like, there's a specific reason why people do that. I I think it's something to do with like Ardent Sacrifice and whatever, but I'm not sure if this one's just a meme or if it's actually legitimately like meant to do well. But yeah, I think this is for whatever purpose you're using for. I'm sure it serves you well. Let's take a look at Lucina for Rival Bromains on Saturday. First of all, congrats on making Rival Bromains. I will definitely be tuning in. I hope it's a lot of fun, and I hope you guys do better than we did last time. Oh, it's a far trace, Lucina. I think that's amazing. Yeah, I don't really have anything to say about this. I think this is pretty much as good as it could be. I think if an attack res solo seal existed, that might be better, but it doesn't, so I think this is really good. Venial AJ shows up in Arena Set It. Obviously really good. Blue Duel Flying takes him up to 180. Guard Bearing's really good. Joy Drive Speed is great. I might swap out Drive Attack to something like Iote's Shield maybe. Or I guess no, Iote's Shield doesn't score max. But also you've given him a tier 4 C skill when he technically doesn't need that to score maximum for Arena. So I would probably swap out his seal for Iote's Shield then, because he can actually score max anyway that way. Or maybe give him like a solo skill or some other thing that boosts his stats. Kaden shows off a Florina build where you deleted the account. This is just a memory of a past Florina. I think this is really decent. I think she's a little bit slow, and unfortunately Pegasus Flight does go off of visible speed, so if you were to ever build this Florina again, I would probably recommend giving her Fury 4, and then maybe something to boost her visible speed as the seal, but other than that, I mean, it's really good. Oh hey Stitch, thanks for stopping by the stream. Setup is pretty fog. Okay, we've got a lot of builds to look at, so I'm going to cut this off in a couple minutes. Cut off the submissions. To my mods who are in the chat, could you let me know, or could y'all figure out if there's a way to stop people from submitting builds in 2 minutes, because there are a lot of builds. So at 8:10, if y'all could like make the channel private or something temporarily. Sorry to those of you who didn't get to submit, but there's a ton of stuff that I have to get through. And I still haven't had dinner yet, so yeah. So next we're looking at Corgi. Corgi has submitted their Lucina build. Corgi is like a massive Lucina fan. So yeah, obviously this is amazing. I think once she gets her her remix, it's gonna be even better. I think she could also get a pretty decent refine. But yeah, really good. Let me switch the music again. I didn't expect it to go on for this long. Oh, let's play this one for a little bit of relaxing energy. Fedison submitted an Anna who will have Frenzy 4. I've seen this Anna build obviously many times on the videos on his channel, but it will have Frenzy 4, so good luck pulling for that, Fedison. It's going to be fun to see her in your clears. Stitch says, I really want to get a couple legendary Lucinas after a remix. I agree. I've got currently like a +0 legendary Lucina. And I think it would be really good to get maybe like another merge in there. Let's take a look at this Tobin. Ooh. Favorite boy, never count him out. Yeah. I think that this is really good. Red Duel Infantry means you can use him in Arena. Wall attack defense is good. Times pulse is good. Yeah, unfortunately Red Duel Infantry 4 on 1 range units is not quite as good as it could be, but his defenses are pretty beefy, so I think he's pretty good. One suggestion I would say is give him a favorite, because right now he's not favorited, so you might accidentally send him home. But yeah, it's definitely a nice Tobin. And you don't see him very often, so it's nice to see. PSIO submitted their Summer Hilda, and my stream is in the top corner. I am very flattered. Thank you for thank you for tuning into the stream. But yeah, so yeah, this is a really good one. I think the Joint Drive Speed is great for supporting. If you're using her on AR offense, I might recommend, like, maybe not an offensive seal, maybe like distant guard or something. But yeah, otherwise it's really good. Sorry about that, Albus Mare. I'm really sorry. I apologize. I will make sure to get to your build on the next one. But yeah, so Black Gang Hero, obviously from their name, they obviously really like Marianne. They're a regular commenter on the channel, so thanks for submitting a build, Black Gang Hero. I bet you're really excited for Brave Marianne. So yeah, here's their Marianne build. I think this is really good. I think the solos are also really decent. If you're using her on AR offense, the solo might be a little hard to activate sometimes, but you know, I mean, if it works for you, that's obviously great. She's really good. I still think that she's a little bit worse than Guinevere and Micaiah, but still really good. Still holds her own very well. Oh, you gave her plus HP, because I was just about to ask about the plus HP. You gave her plus HP so that she wouldn't get targeted by Bright Shrine. With Quad Mythic, next Dragonflower upgrade will enable her to dodge level 7 Panic Banner. Cool. So yeah, we'll take a look at Logan's plus 10 Byleth. I have seen this build many times, many variations of this build too, because Logan loves to give his Byleth new skills. So attack speed ideal, wind sweep, attack speed menace, and attack speed solo. And I think this deals really well with legendary, sorry, not legendary, with Fallen Edelgard. Yeah, great build, Logan. I always love to see your Mela Byleth builds. I think he's amazing. Satachi submitted his own unit. Me, aka the best Edelgard simp you know. So yeah, Satachi is an Edelgard simp. I think this is, you know, this is a decent build. You're still running the colorless tome. Honestly, like, the summoner, I think it'd be really cool if they let us use the summoner in other modes other than, you know, Mjolnir Strike. I honestly don't think it would be that broken, just because, like, we can't really get merges on this unit, so I think as a +0 it wouldn't really be that broken, even if you could give them whatever skills you wanted. So yeah. I think it'd be cool to use them in PvE, maybe even in AR. Maybe even in AR. I don't know, maybe that's a controversial opinion, but I just think it'd be cool. Oh, it would be really cool if they let us change the summoner movement type, Kevin, you're right. And I'm also really looking forward to if or when they add bows as an option as well, because, like, can't use bows right now, which sucks. Utopian Starlet, submitted a New Year's Plumeria. I already really like you. I love Plumeria, so I approve of this. Wow, this is really scary. I was debating running Brave Bow on mine as well, but mine is +0 and plus attack. Yours is, sorry, minus attack. Yours is obviously a lot more high investment. I think this is really good, and I think if you use this on an ARD team, this might actually, catch a lot of people off guard. But yeah. Sorry, Blaster360, yes, Faye builds is privated now because I was getting too many, like, there were too many builds that were submitted, and I have to, you know, stop the flow at some point, so I asked my mod to stop it at 10 p.m. Sorry about that. But I will make sure to get to your Male Kana next time. I know you love Male Kana. But yeah, super scary Plumeria. I highly approve. I think this is really good. Krobus submitted a Male Grima. So they have attack, defense, near save ready for him in Hall of Forms. So does that mean you're going to wait and see if he shows up in Hall of Forms first? That's fair. And you said you've done the simulations and it fares well against Sigurd's. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Yeah. I've already reviewed a couple of other Male Morgans with, Male Grimas with similar builds, so yeah. But yeah, he's really strong. Joey submitted his Nethany. Very possibly the greatest unit to ever exist. She's a destroyer of worlds and hearts. She one-shots Fallen Edelgards. Really? Nethany can one-shot Fallen Edelgard? I mean, this looks pretty good, yeah, and the fact that she's got high defense means she can't even take a hit from those units if she needs to, but, yeah. Oh, let me switch the music once more. But yeah, really nice Nephany. Don't see her very often. I know her lance is armor effective, but like I don't know if she can one-shot through the damage reduction. Royal Knight submitted Erica, a character who he uses in Arena. Yeah, really nice Erica build. I think Erica is actually somewhat underrated. So it's nice to see people building her. But yeah, like Kevin said, there are a lot of units in this game whose PRFs just don't really hold up anymore, and she's a perfect example of that. I think she really could use a re-refine, although there are many units like that, unfortunately, and I just don't think it will ever happen. But yeah, as far as she can go, I think it's pretty good. I might swap out Flashing Blade for like a solo skill, maybe attack speed solo, because her attack and speed could definitely use a little bit of help. But yeah, really solid build. Will sing Baka Mitai for orbs. I don't know what that means, but this person is showing off their merge project, which is Tatiana. So yeah, Pack Blooms is obviously a great weapon. Mirror Impact is pretty good. While attack speed, attack res oath. So I would probably swap out, I mean, you've already given her Mirror Impact, so it's probably fine, but in general, she'd probably be better with defense, so the sturdy impact. Also, the C skill, I would say you can probably swap it out for maybe like a smoke skill. Also, I don't know if she's going to be hitting a lot of heavy blade checks, to be honest, with this level of attack, so I might switch to like Swift Sparrow or something like that as a seal instead. Stitched. Oh, Stitched, I remember watching your summoning video for this to do, the original one, where you got ridiculously lucky. Thank you for submitting this to do. I was wondering how you ended up building him. So yeah, let's take a look at to do. So, oh, this is so interesting. But so how does Heavy Blade 4 interact with Crafty Fighter though? Because I'm curious. Yeah, if someone in the comments could let me know how Heavy Blade 4 interacts with Crafty Fighter. Because this is like, if they like stack or whatever, if they work like in different phases essentially, I think that's really interesting. Sorry that I'm being silent right now, I'm just waiting for y'all in the chat to let me know if y'all know how Heavy Blade and Crafty Fighter interact. Wiccan says all that save fodder. Yeah, but if you like the unit, it's worth it. Stitch says I mostly use it for the true damage. I don't think they stack. Oh, hey Shivam, thank you for stopping by the stream. I hope your flight goes well. And I hope you had a great vacation or whatever it was that you were doing. Crafty Fighter is guard. Oh, Crafty Fighter is guard, I see. So it's not like vengeful. So it's decent. Yeah, it's actually pretty decent. I'd be curious to know, Stitched, how well this works against legendary Sigurds. So I'm assuming he doesn't take much damage from Sigurd, but I'd be curious whether he kills back. But yeah, we got a couple more. We got this Owain from Ubiquitous X. They say it's a legendary Byleth support, AR offense / general content. He has so much fodder, so he's got a lot of versatility. All stats except res are workable. Waiting for his refine. Yeah, it's really good as far as you know, speedy sword damage reduction tanks go. I might swap out Mystic Boost for a solo seal, speed res solo probably. But yeah, I think this is great. I really hope he gets a good refine for your sake and for the many other Owain fans out there as well. Okay, we got a couple more. Home stretch. So, Eroax submitted Bike and they've given him Pulse Smoke since then. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty standard bike aside from the special spiral. But I'm sure you have your reasons for it. I mean, a lot of people tend to run Null Follow-Up nowadays. I think Null Follow-Up might be a little bit better. Obviously Pulse Smoke is good, and Swift Stance is pretty good too, yeah. I don't know if I'd go Swift Stance though, I might go Kestrel Stance, because his res, like, with the damage reduction, his res stat isn't quite as important as his attack stat. But yeah. If you've got Brave Lucina support behind this, I think it could be really good. Camus submitted their Pride and Joy. I hope he gets a refine soon because his PRF is pretty bad. Yes, unfortunately it's pretty bad. Oh, this is really interesting. I didn't even know that this unit could be a tank. But yeah, I mean, this is really good. No follow-up's great on him. You're boosting his res. I might swap to like Speed Defense Solo Seal just to patch up his defense a little more too. Defense Res Menace is also really interesting. Francis asks, how long has it been since the stream started? An hour and 21 minutes. And it's gonna end soon. But yeah, I think this is really, really interesting. And I really hope he gets a good refine. Master Zek / Josiah submitted a Sayla build. This is my build I use for FE8 Resonant Battles. If Ether was more readily available, he would probably have that instead of Soul. Oh, this is really good. So you mentioned that you use him in limited hero battles, but you could probably use him in something else too. I don't know what, but definitely PvE. Maybe not Ether Raids, but I think this is really interesting. Yeah, the Trace skill is great. The Menace skill is great. I haven't seen a +10 Sayla yet, so it's cool to see someone investing into him. All right, we are down to the last two, and this one is from Sarcel. The most meta of Claude Von Regan builds. Oh, I love it. I can already tell I'm gonna love it. So, Sarcel has given him Spendthrift Bow, Rally Attack, Blazing Wind, Fortress Res, Windsweep, Spur Res, and Fortress Res. And you know what? I think he's an amazing res tank. I think the Windsweep stacks really well with his lack of guaranteed follow-up. I think the only thing that I would improve is to give him Mirror Strike, Vantage, and Defense Tactic instead. But aside from that, I think it's really good. Guys, obviously this is a meme. So yeah, this is not a real Claude build. But I think if he actually gets null follow-up in his refine, I think Windsweep would be an option for sure. But yeah, thank you for the laugh, Sarcel. But yeah, if you gave him Mirror Strike, Advantage, and Defense Tactic, I think this would be really, really good. Oh, look, someone's reacted there. Thank you, Corgi. When we public this channel, I expect y'all to all go and react with the Mirror Strike, Vantage, and Defense Tactic. All right, we're down to the last one from Ouija, who is obviously really excited about Ashe from their display name. And this is their +10 Roy. Binding Blade Speed Refine is interesting. Distant Counter, Repel, Attack Smoke, Steady Posture. Yeah, I mean, as far as Roy builds go, this is really good. I think, unfortunately, Roy suffers very much from Gen 1 Sword. Gen 1 Sword Syndrome, where the Gen 4 and Gen 5 swords are better than him even at +0. But I think he's pretty good. Yeah. Fedison asks, why is it Vantage 2? Fedison, did you not see the Mirror Strike Vantage Death Tactic Lilina meme that was going around on Twitter last month? Yeah, people were posting. It was started by Chris at Quizzical. They posted a build of Resplendent Lilina with Mirror Strike, Vantage 2, Defense Tactic. So yeah, people were just memeing on that and how it wasn't very good. So a lot of people started posting their similar builds. But yeah. So yeah, thank you all so much for tuning into this. It was fun to have that little bit at the end where y'all were able to submit, you know, just the builds at the very end. I'll probably do something like this again next month. If you guys enjoyed, let me know if you enjoyed that. Because if you did, I will do it again. But yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. Wicken says it's finally over. Yeah, my throat's like kind of in pain right now from speaking for so long, but I really had a lot of fun. So thank you guys for submitting these builds. Thank you all for being such a great audience. But yeah, so I will see you guys tomorrow with more Ether Raids. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye.